All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday first team trainings here. We thank you for being part of first team. Thank you for being part of today. We got Kayleigh Ryan here from our marketing department, going to go over the new Marq as it is, which is the former Lucid Press, and to go over that and some added features that will be a benefit to you. So thank you for being here, Kayleigh. And you're on, Kayleigh.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to preface the training too of it's not a new tool. It's just a rebrand of the name. So a lot of these functions are very, very, very similar as to what you're already used to. So for any of you that are in Lucid Press or were in Lucid Press a lot, I promise, and I know I have to say this, right? Or it might seem biased, but I really think that just some of the features are just really just upgrades. And they're constantly making improvements to the platform just to make it easier to use for you guys. So it's a positive thing, but I know anytime there's change, it can cause confusion and frustration because you're so used to using the tool and knowing exactly where certain things are. So today's purpose is just to walk through some of the new features. And I'm thinking I'm going to actually have a little extra time to dive into just a couple tips and tricks on a particular design. So with that, I will get started. So I'm starting from the loop. I usually always do this just so you guys know where to access the platform. But hopefully many of you guys know you can go directly to marq.com. If you type in lucidpress.com, it'll redirect to marq.com, so you're fine there as well. But it's also linked out in the loop on First Place. If you guys don't have a login or need a reset, reach out to marketing@firstteam.com and we'll make sure to get you all set up for it. So this is where you can access it. I always start from there, but I already have it open on my tab. So if you do want to follow along, you can. Otherwise, I'm just going to highlight some of the new features for you guys. One of the first ones is actually not in this transition just yet. I've been told in about a week it should be updated, but once you're logged in to Marq, you're dropped directly into the homepage just like you were before. And right now it looks exactly the same as it did before, but pretty soon it's actually going to look like this. Probably in about a week. And this was actually always something that I received feedback from agents and managers that the homepage was always just kind of a little wonky. It could be better. So I'm excited to see this, which is what they call swim lanes. And you're going to actually see that already in the template library. But it's going to show your recent projects and then also featured templates. That's already existing now in the template library, which is really cool for us and for you guys. So we can actually pin different templates that are kind of the most used templates, or maybe something new that we just uploaded into Lucid Press. Prior to, it was always that only default was A to Z. So it was always just kind of, is what it was. You could use a filter, but it was really kind of hidden. So this will be really cool for you to be able to see featured products on the homepage as well. So that's something new, but that's happening in about a week. You won't see it today. And then I also want to highlight your settings. It used to be in the top right corner of your screen. So I used to always direct you to a little bubble in the top right corner where you were to hit your account settings. This is actually now in the bottom left corner. And then you can access your account settings there. That's where you want to go for your smart fields, which is really your contact details. So if you have a change of your email address or your phone number, your website, whatever that might be, those are what automatically pull over to the templates in Marq, formerly Lucid Press. And that's just an important area to be aware of. Bottom left corner now. This also holds the page where you can reset your password. So we always do a default password for you guys, and it's in case you send anything to print, credit card information and whatnot, changing your password is always a good thing. So bottom left corner for that. Another feature I wanted to highlight is actually the menu item. So if you just see icons right here on the left-hand side, if you click the three little bars, the little menu, that'll actually lock it on, on and off. It's kind of like first place in a way. A lot of people don't know that there's a hidden lock here. So you can lock out your loop and just see the icons. But it can be a frustrating thing sometimes when you're in there and you don't see your text. So just wanted to highlight that for you guys. That's a new little feature, minor, but still one that could be very important. Another, I guess, it's not really that big, but it's a big name change. So we will be eventually redoing all of our how-to videos or how-to library. But this section was formerly called My Documents. It is now called My Projects, which I think is a positive thing because it's really more all-encompassing. Documents was always kind of a hard thing to describe or fully grasp what they were really intending for it to be. It really is a project, right? And so whether it's print or digital, they're all a project that you're working on. It's the same thing. Everything within here is going to be the same. You can still build folders all the same. You can still star things all the same. The only thing that's really changed in this section is the fact that it's called My Projects. My images is a little bit different, but I'm actually going to dive into that from the editor instead of right here. But images is where you can go and upload, obviously, all your images. So I'm going to actually just jump over to the templates section. So this is actually where you guys will see those swim lanes, as they're calling it. You probably won't refer to it like that, but you can see now that there's actually featured templates at the top. And we actually pin these because these are some of the most used templates in LucidPress, or certainly just new products. So you can see the August wires up here and the detail that we just released on Monday as well. So we're going to be a little bit more active in putting templates up there at the top that are, well liked or used often. That'll be nice for you guys just to highlight those things at the top. Popular is still the same, but I always kind of laugh at this because it's still a lot of the templates that I used back when we did the original LucidPress launch. So it's going to take probably quite a bit of time for these to really change, because when I did all the mass trainings out in every single office when we first did LucidPress, I had everybody open the same templates. So we had thousands of templates being open at the same time, and I have yet to see this really heavily change, other than the market update template, which we highlighted up here as well. So this one is a pretty popular template. And then right below is actually just all the templates, and it's going to work the same as before in terms of filtering out from there. So if you don't see anything in the popular or the featured at the top, or if you didn't start from your homepage recent documents, you're still going to filter out just like you did before. So, if you're looking for a Christie's property flyer, you're still going to do the same thing. And you also have your keyword search templates bar at the in the top. So pretty similar, but a section that I kind of want to highlight before I dive into a template is these tabs here at the top, which I think many of you probably didn't know these existed before, because they were in kind of a hidden drop down. And now that they're pulled out as tabs, I wanted to address them just for any questions. But really, truly, they're not going to have a whole ton of value at this particular time. Kind of some big news that's coming soon is we molded over, and we kind of decided that we're going to try out opening up blank templates entirely for you guys, which is actually kind of big news. So you guys will actually have the ability to do a design from scratch. Nothing's locked. Now this could be great for those of you that are more savvy and want just more freedom, or have to go to Canva because things are locked in Marq. You're going to actually have the ability to do a free design. But That's not open just yet. We have to gather some assets for you guys. Want to make sure logos are in the right place. Disclaimers are available for you guys. Those are some of the things, that we want to make sure. But ultimately, it's will be the responsibility, on you guys to just make sure that, you're compliant, right? You're safe, you're using logos properly, that sort of thing. But that's some exciting news coming soon. And I say that because that's going to be maybe more where the shared with me and personal templates tabs will be relevant. I think most of you probably won't see a whole ton in these two tabs, but they really are for if you create your own template. And we've always done that for you guys, right? We release all the templates in the brand template section. So these weren't really used before. You do actually have the ability to create a template or mark something as a template from projects. And I'm just going to show you that really quickly, just because it is kind of a new feature. It was there before, but it just was hidden and we didn't really use it. But say you've created something, your own open house flyer that you really like. And just for the sake of time, just pretend that this is the flyer. If you wanted to convert it to a template, you could use this is very similar to before, the ellipses drop down on just I almost said document, a project. You can actually hit convert to template right there. And it's actually then going to land in your personal template section. So you can actually create that. You could use it now. I just think it's going to be more relevant when you have the ability to really create your own from blank, from scratch. And then you say you really like that design, you could actually convert it to a template, and then you don't have to go through the replication process in your project section. Similar, if you've created a personal template and then you decided to share it, say with a teammate, that would land in your shared with me section. So just kind of highlighting that. If I've converted something to a template and then I choose to, you could share from either one, but there is a share button here. If I chose to share it with someone, they would see that template in the shared with me section. That's due for a deeper dive once we've actually opened up the templates the blank documents. And just real quick, highlighting that, you're actually going to see, if you guys are in Marq right now, you'll see the new project button in the top right corner. This is going to actually be on multiple pages, and the intent with this upgrade, so you should actually see that if I jump to the home page, you're going to see it here. You're going to see it in pretty much every section. And that's just so that from any page, you can actually jump and start creating. Just makes it quicker and then you don't have to wait for templates to load and whatnot. You can see on my screen, I'm seeing blank project. That's going to drop me into, if I were to select that, drop me into an entire blank sheet. I think it defaults to just an 8.5 by 11 flyer size. And then you can create anything from scratch. Right now, you guys are probably just seeing from template and folder because that feature is locked for our enterprise. Coming soon, kind of big news. So stay tuned. We'll put out an announcement on that. But we just, we get a lot of comments of, I'm just going to go to Canva. So hopefully some of you guys will be excited about that. But for those of you who don't really like to create from scratch, we're still going to populate templates. They're still going to be up there for you guys. And I will say, yes, while we've had that lock for branding purposes, it's actually there to help you guys, some of the locking features, because when you have everything unlocked, you move things around and you can easily get overwhelmed and spend a lot of time designing and actually get a little bit frustrated in the process. So we're still going to have the templates built out for you guys. So either or, it'll just be available. Let me see. I think I want to dive into actually showing you some of the new features in the edit mode. So I'm going to actually choose, I already opened it. So before I do that, if you click on a thumbnail, something else that's new is the preview page. It's taking a little while for me to load here, but if you actually just select with one click a thumbnail or a project, or template, you're actually going to see a little bit better of a preview than you did prior to. So if you ever hit the preview button, it was really kind of small. It's still not overly large, but you'll actually be able to see if I grab, let me see a multi-page document here. You're going to be able to see all the pages on the left hand or on the right hand side here too. So you can kind of scroll through. I'm loading very slowly, but you're going to see the multi-page document here on the side. So that's kind of a cool upgrade. Just if you're not sure you want to grab that template just yet, that preview section is a little bit more valuable than it was before if you want to take a look before you dive in. So the double click is still the same. So if you want to open something, double click on that template, and then it's going to drop you into the editor. So I just moved tabs because I already had this open. And I'm going to just point out just some of the features here on the left-hand side. Still the same content. It's just pulled out as thumbnails that are a little bit more clear to use. You know, for example, I think one that's cool is you now have stock images pulled out. And this is where Unsplash, which I used to talk a lot about in the trainings, this is a free stock image library. So if you typed in banana, you're going to have pictures of banana. Or if you're doing, say, a wine and cheese event and you want a photo that's relevant for that, there's a ton of free stock images that Marq has. And it's now pulled out versus the My Images are going to be your personal images that you upload, say for your listings, and you want to pull them over. So they're called out versus having a drop down. It was really hidden before. So I think that's pretty cool that they pulled that out. I think it looks great. Another new feature that we plan to possibly use quite a bit more because the feature is a lot better is actually the pages section. And I, as kind of a trial run of the new feature, I created the new luxury newsletter with this feature built in. So you're actually going to find something very different with this than you have any other template that if you've ever used Marq or LucidPress. It's functioning a little different than the way we've built everything else. So just highlighting really quick the contact information section. We had to build this in because we have so many agents in so many cases, whether you need just one agent, you know, you're marketing that piece by yourself, versus if you have your one agent, but you also have a custom logo, your own personal brand, versus if you're a team of 2 agents with 2 contact blocks. We've had to build and replicate. That's why there's so many thousands of templates, is because we have to replicate it to make sure that we have something up there for everybody. Well, we see value in this feature to actually make that condensed a little bit. So you don't have 17 of the same template. You'll actually have one and then be able to toggle a page with the contact information. So you'll find if you do use this template in particular, or you want to personalize it, there's only one version of August the Detail, which is our luxury e-newsletter. But under the pages section, if you create, with your contact information on the actual design, and the reason for this version that has no contact information is because usually your signature is built in to your CRM and it's turned on. So this is to actually save you from having your contact information and then your contact information again. But if you don't want your signature, you kind of want it to look a little more unison, we have those built in. And the way we did it is actually built it out in pages. So to use this feature, say you're one agent, and I'm extra, I don't know why my internet is so slow today. But if I were to select one agent, you're actually going to see it created another page. And this really is kind of a bad design to try this out, because it's going to make a lot more sense for, say, the backside of your flyer. I'm going to flop it out for 2 agents instead of the 1 agent page. And then you would just come on your page and right click and delete the other one. So the delete process, we kind of tossed around. Is that difficult? It's not, but it's just an extra step there. But we feel like the experience might be just a little bit better in terms of, having to, have a billion templates up there and filter through them and find the correct one. So that's something we're trying out with the detail. We have a new campaign hopefully coming out in just a couple weeks. And we're going to try it out with that one too. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted that. It's pretty easy. It's just going to be that pages panel. And then you're just going to hit new page and it'll be named by what you need. So it's really going to be for the contact details. So you're going to see the same thing as you saw in that filter, which is 1 agent, 2 agents, 1 agent with custom logo. And then really for eBlast only is the case of no agents on there. There might be a couple others, but that's pretty much it. So we'll see how that feature works. I just think the overall experience could be better and pretty easy to use for you guys. So that's something new to be on the lookout for, because it could be really confusing if you see a new campaign and then you're not able to find your contact details. We're not going to get rid of that filter. Obviously, thousands of templates are already having that built in, so it's going to take a long time for us to update it. So what we'll do is we'll mark, so for example, the detail will come up with all of these filters because all of them are built into this one template here. Let me see. I'm going to just highlight a few of the new share features. The order print section is exactly the same as it was before, but the sharing options are different and the adding collaborators. So we've always told you guys, hey, if you need edits or you need something unlocked in the template, go ahead and hit share, collaborate with others, and send it to marketing@firstteam.com. That's actually a filter or a feature that's pulled out of that drop down, and it is now here, and it's looks like a little person icon with a plus sign, and it says collaborate. So that's going to be where you're going to share it with someone, and typically this is the case that you actually share this with our team to unlock something for you or help you with a change or just look it over, whatever it might be. So that's pulled out. It's no longer in the share menu. You have the download option, which is exactly the same. This feature changed a while ago. It used to be in the dropdown, but it's pulled out. So if you just need to download your PDF or image for social media, you can actually just hit that right there. I've never really highlighted the preview button, but that's you're going to see how it will look online. So you could use that feature as well. Another option that was pulled out is the undo and redo buttons up here in the top left. It was kind of hidden before, so I'm not sure many people use that. I'm so used to using shortcuts on my keyboard, it's never really been that valuable to me, but I think for some of you guys that might be nice to have it right there at the top. Then diving into the share menu, which actually looks very different versus the drop down. Same functionalities. So if you're looking for the embed in an email, it just looks a little different than the drop down it was before. Publish on the web is the feature where you're able to generate a link. It's usually good if you have a multi-page document or like a custom listing presentation you want to be digital on the web. That's really valuable here. It generates a link to your document. It's not really valuable in the case of the detail here because that's going to look a little funny, but that is where the embedded in email comes in, and that's where you're going to be able to pull out the HTML code that you need for your CRM, that embedded in email feature. So in the case of this document, this is what I would choose to publish it. Embed on a website, this is great for your blog. It's also better for multi-page documents. So if you wanted to post, say, the first team's portfolio of luxury homes, you customized it and you want to embed it on your website, that's a great feature as well. It pulls out code for your website. Great for blog posts if you want to use any of the content that we put up here and actually post it to your blog. Social, this is actually a big update. So I'm excited about this for you guys because Facebook or Meta actually opened up a lot of their integrations, and they just recently opened a couple different things with Instagram in particular. they are allowing you to post from your desktop. So if you ever go to Instagram.com from your desktop, you can actually post now from there. Prior to, I don't know, maybe, what was that, 3 months ago, 2 months, I don't know, it was pretty recent that they opened it up to the desktop. You always had to go to the app before. So you had to download your image, get it to your phone to post from the app on your phone. You can now post from the web. This feature is not quite finished. I've been told too, just like the homepage that I mentioned, this is coming very, very soon. And right now you're just going to see your steps, right? You're going to see download the image, go to Instagram. It's still easier than it was before because you can go directly to Instagram.com and post from your desktop. So you don't have to move that downloaded image elsewhere. But it's not quite integrated. And that's the only one other than Buffer, which I don't think I've ever seen any of you guys use, that's not fully integrated with Marq. So back to that share menu, if you were to, with a one-time authentication, and I've already authenticated, so I'm actually seeing my share to Facebook. But if you didn't, you would see a little Facebook icon that it's going to ask you to connect and then take you through the steps of actually posting right from here. So let me see. I'm going to actually hit my Twitter because I think I authenticated. Okay, yeah. So I did the same thing here and I'm logged in. I already did the authentication. If you didn't, let me just show you. I think I have a screenshot, what it would look like. If you haven't done it yet, it's going to look like this. So you're going to say, in this case, continue with Facebook. And it's going to say, hey, are you going to allow, Marq to post to your Facebook? You say yes. And then from then on, it's going to look like this. And you're able to actually type in your message that would be posted on Twitter, Facebook, and eventually Instagram directly from here. And then you say post to Twitter in this case. And again, bad document for posting to Twitter because it's long and skinny, meant for an email. But that's pretty cool that those are all integrated now. So you're going to be able to post to Facebook directly from Marq. So big upgrade, big feature, makes it easier. It's less moving around, opening tabs, posting, it just makes it easier, more seamless. And this is something that they're just continuing to want to build out, even with video and GIFs and all that good stuff. So pretty cool that that's now done. I've been told with Instagram, once that's finished, they're even going to have the built-in carousel of images. So I'm already kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit on how we build out the social media images in Marq for you guys to use. So hope, many of you guys that use Instagram, you'll notice a lot of posts allow you to swipe through multiple images. And we actually, typically, if you've ever created a custom project with us and we made it into social campaign for you, we usually give you a lot of times a series of social media images. And we usually tell you, oh, this is meant to swipe through, say on Instagram, right? You're going to actually be able to do that once it's finally built out. And we'll have multi-pages here. So you're going to have, say 3 or 4 different social images, and then you'll be able to post that carousel directly from Marq. So that's pretty cool too. I'm excited to see that once it finally goes through, but I'm told it's in their next phase in two weeks. So hopefully that happens. It's obviously engineers building that out. So pretty cool feature. Let me just take a look at my notes, making sure I got everything here. Yeah, I'm thinking that that share from there, that's really the last major thing to highlight. There's just some minor differences, but overall, these are just upgraded features and then a new name. So I think the new name is really your biggest thing. When you're actually, you see a new tool, you kind of, or new name, it says new tool, but it's not actually, it's the same thing. It's really going to function the same and just have better features for you guys. And this is an exciting thing to be able, to have some, other people building out the software, just making it better for you guys. I plan to, since I still have a little bit of time, just dive into just a couple tips or ideas. I've kind of presented this to a couple offices and gotten glazed eyes. So I wanted to dive in and just show you one way that you can personalize. This is our new luxury e-newsletter. August was the 3rd edition of it. This is part of the series that we automatically blast for you in KV Core, the Smart CRM. If you don't use it, you could still personalize this, grab the code out of Marq and put it into your own CRM. But if you do use KV Core, we're actually sending out those automatic blasts. But if you're using a different CRM, or if you want to do it yourself, you don't want to participate, I just wanted to highlight one way that you could personalize this a little bit more, because you're going to find, that actually a lot of it is locked, but that's in particular because a lot of the content you wouldn't want to change because it's linked and it really is set information. If you changed your readership here, it just wouldn't be accurate on California homes. But I've been highlighting actually the luxury magazine, which is it's not new, but the latest we released back in Q1 of this year. First Team's portfolio of luxury homes. It's an annual digital magazine, and this year's it highlighted a little bit more all-encompassing for all regions. But you can actually personalize this in Marq, and I actually did that for the sake of training today. It's a large file, so I actually did that already just to show you. This is actually the front cover of the magazine, but you can actually, if in Marq you went to personalize it, and say every month for the detail you wanted to put your own luxury listing on the front cover, so that way it feels like a different edition every time. You can do that and use that publish on the web feature, and then you've generated now a link to your published document. So I'll just back up really quick. That's the feature publish on the web, right? So after you've swapped out your image for the front and edited the back cover, your personalized contact details is in the interior right page. I'll show you that really quick. So you'll see actually my contact details right here. This is one way you could personalize it, right? Publish on the web, and that's going to give you this link right here. I'm actually going to copy that. So you could right-click copy and then bring it back over to this view button right here. So if you wanted to personalize this every month, have a new luxury listing, I could simply click on that shape and then come over to the right panel, which is the same as before, is you must select your item for your panel to change on the right side. And then you can hit that drop down for your link, change that out, paste in your document, and now you have your own personal link there. So just one way to personalize this a little bit more. We also unlocked this section here. So if you didn't want to use the featured property for that month, you could actually come and customize this too. So upload, your own photo, highlight your own luxury listing that you might have. You just want to make sure, it's hitting the over 1 million threshold, just because this is specific to luxury. So just a couple tips there that I wanted to highlight just for you guys, just to take up a little bit more time. But I wanted to open it up for any questions you guys have, anything else you guys want me to dive into. I know that was kind of quick today, but I really have kind of gone through all the major differences of the platform. So any questions you guys have for me or want me to dive into anything else?
Yeah, let's open up to questions. There's nothing in chat. Ivy already answered the chat questions. Bernadette says, so these are personalized changes can only be if we email out from our own CRM versus the KB Core auto email?
Yeah, the automatic email is the template. Yep, that's correct. I wish we would be able to, but we wouldn't be able to anticipate all that have changed because it's not integrated with Marq.
Is there an additional charge to use the portfolio?
The magazine in particular? I'm thinking that's what here. Hopefully, I'm not
Yes,
sure.
the Mag Lawrence. Yeah.
Nope, that's an entirely free template. It's in Marq. So if I were to jump back out to my templates, I always type in magazine to find it. You could type in portfolio of luxury homes, but you're going to see 4 different versions. And again, what I highlighted today was that there's 4 different versions because we have 4 different cases of one agent with custom logo, 2 agents, and then we do have one with no agents on it. That's where you have to use these filters, right, to make sure you've pulled out the right one. So this template is entirely free. And once you double click on one of these, it's going to actually drop you into, and I'm going to say done here, your edit mode, just like I was with the detail. And this front cover here is unlocked. So you can, from your images, if you've uploaded them, you can actually just drag and pull over. I'll use Marcel's image as my front cover. So you could just pull over and personalize that way. I don't necessarily recommend putting your face on the front cover, but just for kicks.
That's hilarious. The is the magazine, again, for everyone, is that an annual update?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And so next year the plan is to well, the first edition we released late 2020. It was kind of our 2021 version, and it was really homes that First Team sold over the course of many years. And as we go along, and certainly the 2022 issue, we highlighted homes sold usually about 2 million and up, all encompassing. So we added, versus it just being Christie specific, we added all affiliates and homes sold in 2021, million and up, 2 million and up threshold. So in 2023, after we get through the listing presentation updates, we'll make the addition based on 2022 luxury sales.
Also, for some that are on it, what are the top, would you say, whether it templates, flyers that are being used on Marq right now?
I actually pulled a couple of them out, so I'm gonna go back here. The market update template is one of the top ones. The rising home prices flyer, which is actually at the top of all templates, is still pretty popular. That's been up there a while, but not too long ago, we actually had Marq tell us the ones that are being used most frequently lately, and that happens to be one of them as well. First Team Forward is pretty popular, obviously the Wire, and then we actually created a new QR code series a few weeks back. Terry Cargis came in and did a training on just taking your farming, your traditional way of farming, and making it digital, right, with QR codes and video. So we actually created a QR code series, and that's the direction we're continuing to try and move to, right, is with the use of QR codes. So even just taking your basic home value estimate, which is always one of the most popular campaigns, because it's not new, but it works. People will scan, right? And it's a great lead generation tool. So I would certainly highlight this one as well. I typed in QR code series, so it pulls out just a set of 5 different postcards right now, but we're going to build that out further. So you have some of your standard templates that you've used, but they're all going to have verbiage for QR codes and scans, and really encouraging you guys to use video and then, or just digitize it in some format, right? So you can actually get scans and actual leads from your postcards versus trying to track everything by, I think they called me off of that postcard that I sent, right? You can actually tell a little bit more with the QR code use. So certainly would highlight that as well.
And for everyone, can you let them know, is there extra steps to utilize a QR code?
Yes, most certainly. And I think the training I did last time, I walked through that really heavily. So if you go and check out my training, I think it was back, do you remember, Greg? I think it was May.
Yeah.
I did a training and I walked through all those steps. Yes, it is an extra step to generate your QR code. We use a platform called QR-code-generator. It is a free service. We pay for it so we can view scans, but you could just simply grab your URL, say you wanted them to scan this or scan the code and view the magazine. You could just grab that link and generate your QR code. Then you have to drag and drop it into your template. So extra step that way, but there's a ton of free QR code services. We've used QR code monkey before, is another one. And it's just a matter of, getting it up in Marq and drag and drop, just like you would do for an image.
And typically, there's a question in regards to how many typical pages are in the portfolio, the magazine?
I believe there is 40 pages, 50, actually, I can tell right here. There's 50 pages in there. I wouldn't say there's a typical page count. It's really just based on what we felt were maybe some of the more prestigious sales. And since it changed so heavily from the previous version, it's just a little bit different, but we probably would try to keep it under 50, try to refrain from making it too long, too big. But there is actually another magazine that we built out. Some of the feedback after we released the magazine was, I want one with just all of my own sales in it. So we created a blank template. I typed in magazine again. So these first 4 are all of last year's sales and first team sales. But we actually created a template that is a blank magazine, and there's room for 12 properties in there. And you could actually highlight your own sales. So all of the pages are blank, and you could personalize it. Just say, Kayleigh Ryan's portfolio of homes is really the idea there. So that's a little bit shorter if you didn't want to use the magazine, the larger one.
Hey, Greg, I have a question.
Yes.
So Kayleigh, I'm so used to clicking file and save it when I'm working on something. Is it auto saving it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because
As long as you're online and you have a good connection, it saves.
Okay, because I wasn't sure and I don't want to lose my work. So I keep saving it as a PDF, and then every time I want to edit it, I do it again. So it auto saves.
Auto saves, it'll automatically be in your project section. So you can actually tell Greg by this little saved icon right here in the top window. Do you see?
I do, if you're little hand.
So if I make an edit, say I'm deleting this, you're going to say it says saving.
Okay.
And then as long as it says saved, you're good. It's going to be that way in project.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Kayleigh, I had a question. Which items here you can get the code and copy it and embed it in like MailChimp other than the wire?
I will point out the eBlast filter. So the best templates, if you're going to embed in any CRM, MailChimp, great, is actually going to be what we call eBlasts for email blasts. And you could use flyers, don't look that bad, I would say. So if you wanted to use that filter as well, but typically we try any campaigns that we've built out. These are all single property. So if you wanted to blast a listing, you're seeing those at the top, but we try to build out all of our campaigns into email eBlast format. And that is really the best format because you can see it's long and skinny, just like the detail that I had open. And that really is meant to scroll in an email, right? It looks a lot nicer on your mobile device. It looks, a lot nicer when you're looking at it in just even on your desktop. So that eBlast filter is really going to be key for you. And if you ever don't see anything, say you see a flyer that you love that isn't an eBlast format, certainly reach out to us and we can help build that out for you.
All right. Any other questions for Kayleigh?
Cool.
No.
Sorry, I'm short today, but once I got through all the changes, I knew it was going to be a little bit shorter just because the features are great, but they're they're not super heavy in a good way, right? Because it's not going to change really a whole lot for you guys. It's just going to make things a little bit better. So I'm excited about that. More upgrades to come, which is exciting. I don't know if Ivy, I missed anything. If you can think of anything, feel free to pop in. But other than that, I'm around. We're around if you need help, if you have questions, but it's exciting stuff. So hopefully you guys like the upgrades.
Awesome. You did great, Kayleigh. But before we go, just want to announce next week's training. We do have the weekly training for the week would be first impressions. That's going to be Wednesday, August 10th. They're going to talk about introduce their new marketing strategy and solutions that are available to all U.S. first team agents. That includes our, not just our first impression, but the first team forward program. You don't want to miss that. That's next week. On Wednesday, August 10th. Kayleigh, thank you so much for doing what you do. We appreciate you. This was great. Ivy, thank you for being on too as well and answering, chat questions. Too. Thank you for being part of First Team, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Kayleigh.
All right,
Thank
take care.
you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Bye, Greg.
Thank you. Have a good one.